What's happening, guys? So welcome to the weekly ticker breakdown. It is the week of March 29th, so we're just ending off the first quarter of the year this week. Very interesting. We had a pretty bearish March, but I'm looking forward to April. So for those of you who don't know, this is the weekly ticker breakdown, and throughout the week you could DM me some tickers that you want me to analyze, and the following week on the Monday I drop a video where I analyze a bunch of tickers, which is the weekly ticker breakdown. So comment down below if you want me to analyze some stocks for next week's video. So let's get started. We're going to look at Very. So right now, Very's in a downtrend, which is all right. I really like this company's fundamentals. I think what their products are good. I think the story behind it is good. The chart overall is in an uptrend from when it started. We're just in a period of consolidation. So the safest thing to do is wait until we break over this bearish trend line. Once we break over it with big bull volume, then that's our signal to go long. But until now, we're still rejecting the 8 EMA, and we're also still rejecting the 20. Until we get up over those moving averages, it's probably a better idea to stay away. I thought we were going to break up over earlier because of the head and shoulders. I was wrong, unfortunately, but it looks like we want to come down to this demand zone here. If we come down to here, I would look for that being a buy opportunity or the bull break of this trend line. Next, we have GRN. Now, when I look at GRN, and it's easy to see now in hindsight because I've been following this stock for quite some time, but if we look back and even just the beginning of October, we'll say the stock's gone up upwards of like 600% almost. So because of that, it needs time to consolidate. Like, there's not enough buyers and demand right now to still drive the price even higher. So, and when we look back now, the end of December, every time we tried to make new all-time highs at these levels, it got shot down. That was our signal earlier that this was going to go down. So I'm going to note this down, mark it in my playbook, that when I see patterns like this, where every time we make new all-time highs, it gets shot down instantly, that is likely a signal that there's going to be a drawdown in the stock in the coming weeks, which we've seen. So now we're in a current downtrend. We're shaping up a bear flag. It's likely that this will want to go lower. If we want to see where it could potentially go, if we mark this up, we have our first target at around 81 cents. And to be honest, that makes sense. That would be a huge buy around here. If it comes back to this zone here, that would be a massive buying opportunity. So I will have my eyes on that for GRN. KOPN. All right, I'm not sure what this company is, but right now it went flying up to around 13 bucks, but it's consolidating nicely. I really like this consolidation, forming up a big wedge. Now, when we look at the line chart, see the line chart, maybe we can make it a little bit tighter with the line chart, but overall I'm really liking this chart and the way it's consolidating right now. So I'd expect it to want to still fill out this wedge and then look for the bull break. If this does break bull, then I'd long the bull break. Our targets for this could be potential $15 to $16 range. First target says $16.50, so that would be interesting to see. KOPN looks nice. I like the opportunity shaping up here. Mnkd, Mnkd. Okay, let's check out the weekly here. I'm not a big fan of the weekly time frame. Yeah, see, the chart's really not doing too much. And now when we look at it, it makes sense, right? Why it got stalled in this range. There's previous resistance here. So every time it wants to come up into this range, it's going to stall at like around $6. Until it breaks up over $6, that's when I'd want to go long, because then there's opportunity for it to go to 12, 13. So that's when I'd be looking at it. I'd have an alert set for a $6 bull break, and then I would take a look at it when that trigger gets alerted. Cidm. I feel like I covered this a few weeks ago. I'm not a big fan of this one. There's a lot of resistance in this chart, right? Like, you can tell because when it wanted to go up, look at this huge wick. That huge wick is telling you that there's people selling heavily. Like whenever the price got up to like $5 in this range, the people were happy as hell, just get out of it. So think of it like that. There's just a bunch of supply, right? Because a bunch of people want to get out from holding the bag. They've been buying, right? People were buying at $26, and now that it's at $1.64, every time it wants to get up to like 5, the people who bought at like 26 are like, oh, get me out of here, right? Like I want to sell it as fast as possible. That's why you see massive wicks on days like this. So I'm not a big fan of this stock. I wouldn't even look at it, to be honest. There's definitely way better opportunity out there in the market. Air Canada. So Air Canada here, this trend line was definitely in play. Now, I should have made a video about this trend line before we ran into it because I had it marked up. And of course, that's exactly where we stall. So as you see here, what I'm looking for in this move is the third wave. So overall, Elliott wave theory is things move in 5s and 3s. So the corrective waves pull back into 3s, and then the bullish up moves move in 5s. So I want to see the overall move be something like this: 1, 2, right? And then the third move is the longest move. This could be 3, and then 4, 5. Well, within that third wave, there's going to be another 5. So I'm expecting it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. We stalled in this range because of this trend line. So if we hold this range here, I'm expecting us to go up. Although what could be happening, and it would kind of negate this theory that we're going to go up to 40, but we could get another ABC correction right now. Like if we get something like this where we just trade sideways and then we come back down, right? Something like that happened right here. So that exact same thing could happen again. So, well, it could be a nice buy opportunity if you want to go long for the future, right? But in terms of like my overall thesis on Air Canada and getting up to $40, it might be even longer than I thought it would, just because this corrective phase that we're in right now might slide out a little bit more and maybe come back down to retest our golden pocket in this range. So if we come back to this golden pocket, it would make sense. It wouldn't be the biggest bull case scenario because price would eventually come close to where I entered. It would still be above, but it'd be close to where I entered. So if it were to come back down here and then go for the big bull move up, that would be really bullish too. I'd look for that. That's what it looks like it could be shaping up to happen in Air Canada. But right now, think of it. Overall, this chart was running while the overall market was pulling back. Mtrx. So the thing about this stock, man, we need it. Like at this point, it made its highs at 298 and it came all the way down to 94 cents. That's like a 70% pullback. So I'm going to expect this could potentially want to break bull now. We're starting to see a bunch of wicks around this zone coming from lower levels. That's telling us it's rejecting lower prices. I like that. We have a potential inverse head and shoulders here. It could get negated, but if it breaks this trend line bull with big bull volume, I would trust it and I would go long on this name. So I got some cash on the side. I am watching Mtrx because I want to see a big bull break. If I see the bull break, I'm going to trust it. If I see this type of volume coming up around here with a nice candlestick to match, I'm going to trust it, and I'm going to expect it to want to at least come up to $1.88, $2 range, which would make sense because we'll run the golden pocket. That would bring us to the 0.382 range. The 0.5 range. So yeah, I like that. We could want to come back up to here as well. Who knows? So I want to see the bull break first, just because we, of course, could get shot down again, and this could just end up fizzling down to like 20 cents, and that wouldn't be good, right? You don't want to be in the stock then. We got Riot here, man. Oh my gosh, look at this wedge. If this is wave 1, we pull back to wave 3, and this is 4, which is shaping up a triangle or a wedge. This thing could go like at least to 100 if this is going to play out. If this pattern plays out, it could make its way to 100. Lines up with the fibs. I mean, overall, crypto's been ripping. If Bitcoin goes to like 80K plus this year, Riot is going to go to 100. XOM, so this is oil. This is another one of those stocks that were just ripping while the market was correcting because there's a transfer of money. The money in the market is cycling throughout different sectors, and it happened to be leaving tech and going into energy. So when we look at XOM, check the charts, right? When the overall market was going down, XOM was going up in February and March. I like it here. We could just be seeing another nice pullback. When I look at the 20-day, see the 20-day, it's just nice pullback. We're just pulling back to the 20-day, regathering, and it looks like we want to make another nice big bull break up. I'd expect this to at least want to get to $70, right? That would make complete sense. That's where we have previous resistance. This is a major zone in here, so I'd expect to gravitate up to that range, and then we're gonna stall, maybe get another rejection. GIK, ooh, this one's a little bit ugly here. I would not invest in this chart. Every time it wants to make a new high, it gets shot down every time. I would not invest in that. We got UUU. Looks like we got an upward channel. I would be buying off the lows if I was in this. Buy off the lows, have your stop set below the channel, and then try to ride it up. Again, this one looks like it makes a new high, gets shot down, right? Makes a new high, shot down, new high. It's tough trading those names, so I don't know. Maybe try to find a stock that's a little bit more smooth, a cleaner breakout, things like that. MOS, Mosaic, beautiful uptrend. It's riding the 20 EMA up. I'm not sure what this company does fundamentally. Ooh, it looks like we're starting to run into this zone here, so I'd pay attention to that. We're running into this sort of resistance zone. If we could hold this zone and then start trading sideways, it would just create a massive bull flag. So if this is what happens here, right, we get the pull and then we start trading sideways, something like this for a few weeks or months, that's pretty bullish. That would be leaning for a continuation play to the upside. So I'd let it consolidate around this range for a bit until I see a clear buy entry, and then I would go really long. If you're already in though, you're laughing. This thing's been a beautiful uptrend. Nice stock. And yeah, that's it for this week. So cheers guys, have a good week. That's the ticker breakdown. Peace.